connecting our communities with stories that matter. This is WRTV.
We are unstoppable. Stop touching my comrade, you punk.
Tensions rising as opposing views clash during a demonstration against the early morning military strike targeting Iran.
They don't even know what they're talking about.
But protesters say the government should be focused on problems here at home instead of launching attacks in foreign nations.
People do not stand for Donald Trump and Israel and their illegal and unprovoked war against the people of Iran.
Thanks for joining us for the news at 11. I'm Nadja Woods. A joint military operation between the U.S. and Israel has killed Iran's supreme leader. While President Trump hailed the operation as justice for the Iranian people, the move has prompted Iran to strike out at other Middle Eastern nations. Here's ABC's Ashan Singh.
Tonight, President Trump announcing in a social media post that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is dead, calling him, quote, one of the most evil people in history.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The president adding that just eliminating Iranian leadership will not stop the joint U.S.-Israeli attack, saying what he describes as heavy and pinpoint bombing will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective. The White House releasing images of the president monitoring the mission from Mar-a-Lago, watching what officials are calling Operation Epic Fury unfold in real time. The daytime assault beginning at 9:45 a.m. Iranian time with a barrage of Tomahawk missiles and for the first time in U.S. combat, one-way drones striking multiple targets in Iran for hours. Buildings and cars in flames. New satellite images showing extensive damage to the Supreme Leader's compound. Iran responding within hours, launching retaliatory strikes across the region. A barrage of missiles launched into Israel, many intercepted, but some breaking through the air defenses. Iran also targeting at least 4 U.S. bases in the region. Dramatic videos showing strikes near a U.S. naval base in Bahrain, where some 3,200 Americans are stationed. Iranian officials say over 1,000 people were killed in this wave of attacks. So far, no U.S. casualties have been announced. In Israel, at least one person was reported killed, with more than 100 injured. Ashan Singh, ABC News, New York.
Here at home, tensions were high as Hoosier protesters rallied downtown for what they're calling an anti-war demonstration. Ralliers held signs and voiced their disapproval of the U.S. and Israeli military strike on Iran. Protesters we spoke with tell us they believe the focus of the U.S. government should be on problems here in the United States.
If you ask anybody on the street, they would point to very real and unmet needs here in the United States. You know, people need jobs, people need health care, housing. Those are real needs of the American people, and I think that's where that money should be going instead of towards this illegal war.
During the demonstration, tensions were high as opposing viewpoints clashed. For veteran Mark Oakley, who served in Afghanistan, he says the demonstration goes against what he fought for.
You've seen people killed for protesting the regime. We eliminate the top of the regime, and you got people here saying, oh, that was wrong.
We're all
people that are dying for just trying to assert their rights are getting killed, and these people are protesting for the regime that killed them.
Supporters of the action say the conflict could ultimately head off a large-scale war. In Indiana, Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith said the military action is necessary where diplomacy has failed. And he said although the military action is half a world away, Hoosiers should care about the national security implications in a global economy.
That means we have to deal with conflict. We have to deal with evil. And I think we're not safe if Iran was able to have a payload, a nuclear payload, and had the ability to deliver it to the coasts of the United States. I mean, that could create havoc. Honestly, even if they could deliver it to Israel or to Europe, I mean, that would create havoc for Hoosiers.
Beckwith also said he supports the rights of Hoosiers to peacefully protest the action, but he said the action in Iran today is a step in the right direction toward ultimately finding peace in the Middle East. I spoke with a local expert today to see what impact this military operation could have on us here at home. Hussein Banai, a scholar on U.S.-Iran relations at Indiana University, says he believes we shouldn't see security threats here in America, but he says the impact will be felt economically, starting with the price of energy.
We are guaranteed to see a spike at the pump. So the economic impact of this, the longer the war goes, the more punishing it'll become. If things get resolved in a week or so, that spike is likely to go down. A new kind of stable picture will emerge.
Professor Banai says while this was not unexpected, Iran did not present a national security threat to the United States. He says 8 months ago, President Trump announced Iran's nuclear program had been wiped out. Right now, DPW crews are beginning to treat the roads in anticipation of potential winter weather tomorrow night. Crews say they will switch to 12-hour rotating shifts beginning tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and will run through Monday morning. WRTV's meteorologist Kyle Mounts joins us. Kyle, what are we seeing?
Naja, yeah, we're continuing to watch an active weather pattern setting up here for us, including that system you mentioned. The evening model runs tracking that a little closer to I-70 and areas to the south. So it looks like Sunday night into early Monday. We do have the potential for some light accumulating snow, and that could certainly make things a little slick across the southern half of the state for your Monday morning. But quickly we go from that chance of wintry weather to a lot of rain, and you can see a daily chance of some rain coming our way. We've had a few light rain showers out there this evening, mainly across southern locations. Still have a couple of those showers, though, that are falling across southern portions of Rush, Shelby counties there, right through southern Johnson County. But again, all that will continue to move out of here overnight. In its wake, we're getting in on the colder temperatures. Numbers really falling out there, already in the upper 20s in Lafayette. It's 36 in Indy and 44 in Bloomington. By tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures in the upper 20s and a dry start.
Voter turnout has been a serious concern in Marion County and across Indiana. WRTV's Logan McDonald spoke with civic leaders and voters about the importance of showing up to the polls.
Here in Marion County, voter turnout is a serious concern, and now local advocates and everyday voters are looking to change that with the 2026 Hoosiers Vote Summit here in Indianapolis.
You can't sit there and complain about the government if you haven't even bothered to get up and vote. So I've been voting for the past, 50 years. Seems to have worked out okay so far, maybe.
However, not all Hoosiers have been so eager to show up to the polls, though the issue is improving.
Our voter turnout went from 50th in 2022 to 41st. So moving in the right direction, but we need more victories.
Now this morning, civic leaders from across Indiana held the 2026 Hoosiers Vote Summit, looking to share strategies on how to empower voters and mobilize Hoosiers to the polls.
That's what today is all about. Gathering together here in Indianapolis, people from all corners of the state coming together, sharing best practices about how to do voter registration, how to do get out the vote activities, because we are bound and determined that a majority of Hoosiers are going to participate in the midterm elections this year.
Phil Brennan used to work as a foreign correspondent and feels voting is not just a right, but a privilege not to be taken for granted.
I met a couple in Poland when it was under martial law. The guy would have given his right arm if he could have a say in his government. And I think those of us who don't exercise that in this country are missing a big point, not just a big opportunity.
In Indianapolis, I'm Logan McDonald, WRTV.
The primary election in Indiana is Tuesday, May 5th. Early voting begins April 7th at your county's government office or satellite location. Absentee ballot requests must be made no later than April 23rd. And if you are not registered to vote, there's still plenty of time. The voter registration deadline is April 6th. You can find more information on how to register to vote here in Indiana by clicking the link in our web article, WRTV.com. Tonight, a new chapter for young readers in Indianapolis. The University of Indianapolis hosted its first ever Community Literacy Day this weekend, bringing together families, authors, and educators with one goal in mind, turning the page on childhood literacy.
We're happy to let them join in.
Reading is a fundamental tool every child needs.
Learning to read young is super important.
That's why the University of Indianapolis started a new chapter Saturday with its first ever Community Literacy Day.
I want kids to walk away thinking reading and writing is cool. They're going to have a chance to get a free book. They're going to have a chance to do some fun activities.
From local authors
and cupcake and egg
to storytellers, hands-on crafts to comic strip writing.
This is really great.
And even music therapy. The event centered around books and a love of learning. For the Carl family, it's a mission close to home.
We read every single day. At least 3 books, if not more, every day, I'd say. We love to read, so anytime that I can continue that growth, we try to do those events.
Last year, the Indiana Department of Education reported third grade literacy rates reached a historic high, with 87.3% of Hoosier third graders demonstrating reading proficiency skills.
The last couple of years have been showing some growth and some improvement, so I think we're on the right track.
But Professor Tracy Johnson says there's still room to grow. For the Community Literacy Day, UIndy teamed up with organizations like Indy Reads to help Hoosiers reach that goal.
We have a vision of 100% literacy for all. To go about achieving that vision, we offer free adult education classes to our communities.
The goal is to turn the page, and they say it starts with a small step.
Really what it comes down to is the more we can get books in the hands of kids, the more engaged they're going to be.
Young readers were also able to walk away from the first ever event with a free book. UIndy says they plan to make this an annual event as well. Next at 11, dozens of bills are awaiting Governor Mike Braun's signature after a busy last day of the 2026 legislative session. After the break, how 2 of those bills are looking to protect young Hoosiers.